The one thing you don't know about what goes into the fluoride that goes into the water is that it's not pharmaceutical grade. It's not the same fluoride that goes into the toothpaste.
Right.
Two different things.
Yeah, it's a byproduct from the manufacturing of aluminum.
Yeah, it's actually the scrapings out of their stacks.
Yeah.
It,
Well,
Yeah,
that's the whole aspect of people becoming knowledgeable about all these things so that they can get better prepared.
and there's other ways you can go about it as far as filtering your water. I had the choice of choosing a reverse osmosis system, and it just kind of depends on the person themselves. I kind of did my own research, and I kind of recommend people out there to do your own research and see what you like and what fits your lifestyle. Um, when I read into it, I learned that there's a lot of the nutrients and stuff that is in water that's actually taken out during the reverse osmosis process, and down the road could actually end up causing you some health problems. So it really, reverse osmosis and like I said, the Berkey Light, which is what I have, is a real solid system.
Yeah, the
well,
only thing with
to be
reverse
honest with you, I
osmosis,
I
again,
just went that
you need
I
a
was
power source.
what they call chelating myself with natural things like onions, garlic, and distilled water. And I actually got myself in trouble. I needed a triple bypass to get out of trouble. Um, it clogged my blood system and my heart pretty good. So if you're gonna drink pure water uh, without supervision and nothing to replace the essential minerals with, you're going to be in trouble really quickly.
What about distilled water?
Distilled water is water has serves three purposes. It's a lubricant, it's a nutrient, and it's a solvent. And if you, as a nutrient, it must contain minerals, and the minerals it collects from the clouds to the groundwater is what resupplies your body with the essential minerals. The uh, the lubricant, well, that's pretty obvious. You put your hand underneath the water and then you rub your fingers. It's not the same consistency as doing it without water. So that's the lubricant portion of it. Now the solvent is probably the most aggressive aspect of water. Um, you can you can clean up a lot of things with water, and to be honest with you, it's the heavy metals that were the targets for my drinking distilled water. But the problem with doing that was that once you drink that distilled water, it's like a bullet leaving the gun. It has no friends, and it goes in and takes out everything. It doesn't discriminate, well, this is good and this is bad. It just takes out everything. And it's water without any, distilled water without anything in it is very, very aggressive.
Yeah, it's from my understanding, it has a tendency to even leach the calcium from your bones and your teeth.
Exactly.
But there, you can utilize distilled water, but you'd have to have a mineral source to put back into the water, so it doesn't have that effect on the body.
Hmm.
And again, like I said, there's all the information you need is right at your fingertips if you have a computer.
Well, the downside of a computer is most people don't buy it for that. They
For
usually
entertainment.
buy it for pornography,
Or
one of these
yeah,
social
entertainment.
networks, and they're essentially wasting their money. They're not using it like it should be used.
Mm.
Well,
Well,
that's true.
it's all part of us becoming fat, lazy, and stupid.
Hmm. You
But
would think that that's a joke, but that's actually much more serious than anybody knows. I mean, you talk to a high school kid now, and Well, I tell you what, every Thursday night on Jay Leno, you see it when he goes jaywalking.
Yeah.
They ask people who was the first president of the United States. Abraham Lincoln. Um, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. They don't know anything.
Yep. Well, it just goes to show how effective they were in dumbing us down.
Yeah. And some of the people that this guy is asking are school teachers.
Mm-hmm.
Which really blows my mind. I mean, that really talks me up.
Yeah, it's a really sad society that we live in when your educators don't have the answers.
One of the problems that I see with the dumb of the Americans is when it comes time to protect yourself or cooperate with one another, they're not going to have the mentality to be able to cooperate, and they're going to have to be done away with.
That's kind of like what we discussed before about divide and conquer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Well,
like Richard brought up a really good point when he was talking about what happened with Katrina and the like. Look at what occurred with the government at that time. Their first and foremost thought was not to help the people, but to go around and confiscate their guns.
Yeah.
Now, and this we can count on being the same case in point if a major catastrophe happened, like a dirty bomb or the like.
Well, when they went around collecting the guns, what actually happened was that the police became the criminals.
Right. Yep.
And now you have no law and order at all. So
yeah, because they took the average person's ability to defend themselves away from them, and they provided no defense for them, because after they collected the guns in some of these neighborhoods, the police just disappeared.
Yeah. I guess in Andrew, they couldn't do that, and people were protecting their own property with rifles and shotguns until the National Guard came in. Once the National Guard came in, they came in locked and loaded, and they weren't going to take any garbage from anybody. If you had a weapon, or if you were looted, or you were being looted, or you were doing the looting, you were shot. Period.
It is 28 minutes after the hour, and you're listening to The Cutting Edge live on DA Radio. We'll be right back after this.